Hello guys. Thought I'd make a little video this morning about hilts. I'm a handmade shop, so I make everything by hand. So when you go to put a hilt on a knife in here, it's not made with a CNC machine. You have to go through a lot of rigmarole to get a hilt on a knife. So you start out with a piece of stainless steel for the hilt. You can see where I've scribed down through here. You cut out a piece about 3/4 of an inch wide. Sometimes you can buy the stock in 3/4. Sometimes I do, but this happened to be 1.5 inches wide. So you just cut it down the middle, and that gives you 3/4 inch wide piece of stock, which most everything is that or less, and in the width of the hilt. And that's what you start with, and you cut it out. It winds up in a piece like this. This one's going on an E-hood like this. It'll slip on over the handle. Okay, it don't go on over the blade. Now Lovelace put them on over the blade on his big knives because his handles were larger than the blade on a lot of his, like the Big Bear and some of the others that he made like that. So they had to pin them, they had to pin it then to the wheel as well as soldering it on. And that gets pretty complicated when you do that. But mine, I cut, you can see I cut guard stops in it, and I cut it to fit there. Of course, you got to use a file. You see that machine right over there is what I cut the hole in the hilt. You got to cut a hole down the middle of it, and you have to mark it off where your guard stops come to, and then you cut a hole right in the middle of it down through there with that machine there. And then you have to bring it to the vise, which is over there, and you have to put it in the vise and take a file and square it up like this one. You see how it's squared up to fit onto the knife, where it'll press on kind of on there. Now, these are stainless guards put on a stainless steel blank. So when you do that, it is very difficult to solder onto the knife. Okay, in fact, I have never been able to get one that I trusted soldered. So what Newt and I did, we just decided to try JB Weld, which is an epoxy, and it is a strong epoxy that'll attach to stainless, any kind of metal. So we just started using the JB Weld. Press it on with JB Weld all around. You put JB Weld all around your knife, and then you put your hilt on from over the handle, and then it's there, because your handle's gonna go behind it, and we've never had one to loosen up or anything. In all of these years, I've never got one back with a loose hilt or anything. So it seems to work just fine, and so I don't try to solder them. I've heard of guys taking like a MIG welder or something with a little bitty fine welding rod. I'm not a welder, so I don't know exactly. And maybe welding them on like that with stainless rods or something. I'm not sure if you can do that, but I've heard of people doing that. And but I would have to learn how to do that and get a MIG welder, but I haven't. I just do it the way that Newt and I come up with, and that's the way we do it. Now, once you get it, you can get it to about this point. This is for a frogman knife. This knife here, you can get it to about this point by cutting the hole in it and then shaping it over there on the grinder. You can see the grinder right there. I shape it up. I got a template that I just scribe around it and shape it up on the grinder over there. It starts out, like this, a square rectangular piece. square it up like that, and then I take different belts and get it down to about 120 grit or so on this side, and I use the little wheels on it on the grinder to put these in there, because this is a rear curve guard. And there's other stuff that'll have to be done after it is put on the knife and the handle is on. Then you can do you know, the cleanup on the sides, and maybe you slope this back a little bit on the top, you know, and on the bottom to make it look like it's a curving back. Just aesthetic stuff that you would do after the hilt is on the knife. Okay, that gives you a little bit of what you have to do to put a hilt on. So you realize why a lot of guys don't want to put hilts on. It's because it is more time and more work involved in doing that. So that means that you have to charge more, you know, when you put a hilt on. So that's just the name of the game, the way it works. Okay, guys. I wish I could do the CNC, you know. That'd be a whole lot easier, wouldn't it? But I'm 76 years old. I'm not going to do that. I'd have to build a bigger shop, get that whole big equipment in it and all that. I ain't going to do that. So, anyhow, if y'all, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Those boys that do that, I am for them. They doing that, they're working, they're using those. That's fine and dandy with me. I'm glad they're doing it, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for watching the video. Bye-bye.